Good morning. I'm Joe Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck picture book and educational program. And today I said that I was going to bring you some art work that we could actually help students to develop self esteem. But before I do that, I thought I'd go into reason number three. Now, all of these, another thing I didn't say last time was that a lot of these articles that I'm reading just kind of catch my eye. And I said, other teachers probably will find this interesting as well. And so this particular article from Ed Week, April the 30th, I believe, had a really interesting point of view. And it caught my eye, of course. And it was six reasons why teachers don't feel equipped to teach SEL. And it's written by Adriana Roth Trotero, and it was April the 30th. 1 minute read. And I said, oh, okay, let's find out. So far, I've already talked about number one, I'm not taking them from this funnel that they created of the most important points down to the least important points that teachers felt were impacting their ability to teach SEL. So the first one was student social emotional learning needs are beyond the scope of our ability to assist them. And that's just not true. But if you feel that way, you're going to be um, your worldview will kind of confirm that to yourself. But I'm looking at students that I've taught over the 27 years that I've been a teacher, and there is something that I could do every day that would add to the students' ability to see themselves in a better light. And that's social emotional learning to love yourself, have great self esteem, and then to be able to interact with others. And that's what actually someone said that's what kindergarten is all about, is learning how to interact with your friends and follow the directions. And so anyway, so it starts at the very basic level, as some of my teacher friends reminded me. And and in educational classes, I often had instructors um, go back to the kindergarten model and, and remind us as to you know what we're doing. These are building blocks that are going to help this child become a better person, which is what one mom told me right off. I just want him to be a good boy, a good man when he grows up. So SEL is teaching children how to relate both to themselves, to appreciate and love their inner qualities, and to be able to turn that outward to the world. So it's not beyond our scope or ability to assist our children. Second one was the difficulty in integrating it into other subject matter. And I totally get that. And my answer to that, from my experience, has been you have to be really creative. And this includes looking at a social emotional skill as something that could possibly fit into another subject matter. Say, like, and that's why I'm going to next time bring you this art project, which helps teach self esteem. But art, we still integrate a lot of different subject um, ideas into the art field. And I thought about, what about creating an image of a child as an art lesson and then letting that child surround their portrait with the things they like to do. So that's going to be next time when I come back. So, I was trying to think of how could I integrate. My time is limited because I have a lot of other projects and subjects that I'm trying to teach. And this is elementary, of course. But I found out even with math, you can incorporate social emotional learning activities within it. And what you really, I find, have to do is break it down into its basic points. And that was sort of like draw shapes. And then you come back and you add eyes to that oval shape that you've drawn, and the children in this art lesson that I'll show you next time were mimicking each of my movements. Okay, we're going to put, making a split this oval in half, and then we're going to, and actually some of that I did it in advance for them, but it was them following directions. And I have some really good occupational therapists and physical therapists working with me, and I got ideas from how they conducted a lesson. I mean, children are so creative in and of themselves, and they will do for the most part, they'll do as much as you expect them to do. And I was blown away by some of the things that I've seen young children, 5, 6, create just because they're following the step-by-step directions of an instructor. And I taught children who were on the special needs autism spectrum. They were special needs children. I'm a special education teacher by profession, but I've taught all children. So to me, it's sort of like, how can I make this accessible? It was always a challenge, and I often taught and told my teachers that I had taught as interns that your classroom is your laboratory, and you are able to find better ways to teach a subject. It may not work the first way, but you have another opportunity. And there's another day coming up that, you think about it, go home, process what didn't work, what did work, and then start melding the did work category together and increase um, your ability to reach other students, and you're actually increasing your teaching, your ability to become a better teacher, your teaching skills, your teaching toolbox. I call them a couple of different things, but it's all just your skills. And then number 3, which I have in my, this is what I was actually going to talk about, but gone on a little bit longer than I normally go, but I'm going to finish up with number 3, which is the effort. Teachers have said the effort spent helping students catch up academically leaves limited bandwidth for social emotional learning. And that goes with the previous one. If you can incorporate subject matter with social emotional learning, you will make a lot of strides. And every lesson will include something to improve a child's self-esteem. So you're actually your whole day is building self-esteem. And so we'll talk more about that the next time. So thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a wonderful summer vacation. This is one of my summer series. I'm really just trying to get teachers ready for the fall. So the summer series continues next time, and I'll get back to that art project. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, please share, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.